I'm Bo Johnson. Now, here's a question. What do the IRS and DOJ have in common? The answer: corruption, dishonesty, and the abuse of power without lawful jurisdiction. Let me prove it. In 2009, Orlando Carter was a successful businessman, a husband, a father, living what many would call the American dream. But that same year, PNC accused him of having a $4 million loan and stealing the money. They filed a report with the FBI. Here's the problem, though. The FBI and Department of Justice never verified PNC's claim. They never asked for loan documents. They never investigated. They simply took PNC's word as fact. And on that false claim alone, the federal government prosecuted Orlando Carter and convicted him and sent him to prison for 15 years. Now fast forward to 2016. While serving as Orlando's power of attorney, I filed a formal complaint with the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency with the Department of Treasury. The OCC oversees national banks, and here's where the truth surfaced. PNC Bank responded in writing to the OCC admitting that no such loan existed. Now, when I asked the OCC to obtain authenticated and certified records from PNC confirming that fact, the OCC said it wasn't necessary. The OCC, after all, has direct regulatory authority over national banks, and they had already accepted PNC's admission. So I took the letter from the OCC directly to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Ohio and mailed it in advance. There, I met with Benjamin Glassman, the U.S. Attorney, and Kenneth Parker, his assistant. Before I could even speak, Glassman said that the evidence of the $4 million loan had been shredded. I looked at them in the eyes and said, "It's not possible. You can't destroy what never existed. And legally, the DOJ cannot shred any evidence while a case is still active or within 10 years of conviction." Orlando Carter's case met both qualifications. Glassman didn't say a word, and he never investigated and never contacted the OCC about its finding, and never corrected the record. That matters because the federal government must speak with one voice. Two agencies, the DOJ and the OCC, cannot reach opposite conclusions about the same fact. Either there was a loan or there was not. And the OCC's letter proves the truth. There was no loan. Instead of reopening the case, Glassman and Parker let an innocent man remain in prison. They lied. They are liars, and their silence protected the lie. Now, Glassman and Parker, if either of you claim that I'm defaming you, I welcome your lawsuit, because that would finally bring the OCC letter and PNC's written admission into open court, where the truth could no longer be buried. Today, Orlando Carter is home trying to rebuild his life and grow his business. But his reputation and his business are stalled and shadowed by the government's false record, a record that says he had a $4 million loan, money that he stole. Even worse, the current U.S. Attorney, Dominic Garrissey II, continues to assert that the loan was guaranteed. A guaranteed of what exactly? A loan that never existed? This is how corruption hides, through presumption, arrogance, and silence. The IRS and DOJ both operate beyond their lawful limits, exercising powers they simply do not have. The Department of Justice never had jurisdiction to prosecute Orlando Carter, and now the record shows why. To hear the full story of Orlando's plight for justice, visit yestohellwith.com and listen to the podcast series, Where Are the Heroes? And as always, may truth reign supreme.